And poor Charles, shockers. Where has Laura been? Is she going to get back with Luke? And where is Frankie going? Is he going to leave the show? Here's why he's going to leave the show. Stay tuned for an in-depth interview. It's shocking. No need to set your VCR or DVR, as if they make VCRs anymore. Now you can just go live right now and find out exactly what's going on.
Can't you see I'm not afraid?
Hey, Frankie, I'm very, very glad that you were able to take time out of scheduling. I'm sure the fans want to know what's going on, what happened, the big news, and I think the fans deserve to know what's happening, my friend. Go ahead and tell me what, in your words, exactly what's going on. Well, Dave, it's a short story, short answer to a long story, man. Basically, you know, I've been doing this show with you for a long time, you know, and I really, really enjoy doing it. Yeah, me too. And, you know, lots of things have been happening in my personal life. I've got more director opportunities that I have that I didn't have in the past. And, you know, I've been doing the show a long time, and I actually just felt that it was time to do some changes with the Frankie character. The Frankie character is a very complex character. You know, I've known you. You've been my best friend for years in real life, and it's funny how we were able to bring this stuff on stage and bring it to, you know, fruition and put our lives, kind of our real lives in it, and let people see what we're all about. Yeah, totally. And it's an amazing thing that when you're able to, like, just take certain things of you know, people's personalities and actually portray them on screen, that says something. That really says a lot about what, you know, what we're all about and what soaps are all about in general. Yeah, totally, man. You know, what's your thoughts on the direction that soap? Forget about what you're getting ready to do right now, just for a moment, if you would, my brother. But what direction the soaps, the daytime audience is going to have to go through right now? Well, you know, Dave, it's always been my personal opinion in the last, probably last year or two, and you know, we discussed this at length off camera, where I think that the soaps audience is going to be gone. I hate to say it because it's a sad thing. Why would you think that? Well, look at where everything is going right now, my brother. I mean, you got all these crazy food shows that you know, in the morning, and game show. I mean, people don't really want to watch sagas anymore unless it's nighttime. Now, the nighttime soap opera audience is actually doing a little bit better than the daytime. I mean, you've got Grey's Anatomy, you've got Nashville, you've got a few others out there. You've got what's the one with the lady that's the black president? Yeah, I can't remember the name of that show. It's Madam President. Yeah, Madam President, whatever it is, one of those shows. And people, in the old days, people would stay home, vacuum the floors, cook and clean, pre-internet, man. And now the internet is out, and it's totally changing the scope of what's really going on. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's like, it seems like the internet is changing the way that people are watching television. Exactly. These are my 3 friends from Canada, by the way. Oh, they're good-looking ladies. Yeah, you know, they're part of our fan club. But they're gonna suffer too. And you got shows like Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, One Life in Port Charles. That's it. At one point, there was like 18 or 19 shows at once because of the way people watch television. And it's funny you say that, Frankie, because the way people watch television now is different, and I agree with you on that. It seems like nowadays people are always on the go, they're never home, or they can just DVR stuff. Exactly. When you DVR stuff, it just seems like the quality, the attention span is just not quite as much there as it was when back in the day, where you had to watch it, because if you didn't watch it, you'd miss it. And then there were no reruns in daytime. That's the beauty of daytime. There were no reruns. So you had to watch it when it was on. Now you can DVR it. It just doesn't have significance anymore. Yeah, you're right. And I'm totally 100% agreeing in that. It seems like, you can go home and you can just DVR and, oh, well, I can erase it and I can watch it another day, and then it's just not the same. And therefore, when those kind of things happen, the ratings suffer, everything suffers, the actors aren't making as much money. Now, let me ask you, how do you feel that the actors today, in today's society, the actors, not the actors that were in the 80s, not the Grant Putnams, the Brian Patrick Clarks and the, those kind of cats back in the day, do you think that they had more of an advantage than what they do now? Well, my personal opinion, I think they did, Dave, because what happened was they had contracts that were quite extensive because that was the only thing that they were doing. Now, and they were making good money. Now, every time you turn around, somebody might be making good money, but it's always subject to cutbacks. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. It's just the way the game is. People cutbacks, therefore, they were free. Now they're now free to go work at others. I mean, look at Kristen Alderson, for example. Excuse me. She was in General Hospital. One Life to Live. Came in General Hospital. Then back and forth for a little bit. And then you got other people like Wally Kurth. I love Wally to death. He's a great actor. But Wally goes back and forth from General Hospital to Days of Our Lives. He's done that for the last year and a half because he can get money elsewhere. And I don't blame these actors for doing it, Dave, because they have to. They have to go back and forth. They have to do what they got to do. And same thing with the other gal, Eileen Davidson from Days of Our Lives, played Kristen DiMera on Days, and then she plays Jack's sister on Young and the Restless. I can't remember what character it is in Young and the Restless. Yeah, it's Jack Abbott's sister on Young and the Restless, Ashley. Yeah, Ashley. And so now you're seeing actors not having as much, actresses not having as much control, but yet they have more control. They're forced to have this control because they can go to different shows because they have to. It's not like in the old days where they were stuck in one show and they couldn't go nowhere, but yet that was the bread and butter. Now the bread and butter is changing, and that's why I say, man, I don't really see the daytime as far as soap operas go. I don't see it lasting maybe another year, maybe 2 years. I think it's gonna go to the wayside. Well, that's an interesting opinion, Frank. I mean, I just got to tell you, I enjoy working with you on, One Life in Port Charles. I enjoyed working with you on One Life to Live and on General Hospital. I mean, we've been doing this, probably since 1985. We've been doing it a long time. We work with great actors, Roscoe Bourne, Erica Slezak. There's so many great actors, Anthony Gary, Maurice Bernard, Wally Kurth, you name it. There's so many wonderful actors that we have the pleasure of working with. And now it seems like, I even feel, and I feel, I'm a big character on the show. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but I feel like, man, maybe you might be right. Maybe they may take it. In your personal opinion, if this were to happen, Mr. Carvelotti, Ron Carvelotti, and Frank Valentini, they both are big supporters of the One Life in Port Charles project, One Life Port Charles brand, if you will. Do you think that they're going to pull a plug on it, in your personal opinion? No, I don't think so. I think the one beautiful thing about this whole thing, Dave, is that in some point, I think that, and we're already getting it now. You see where we're going with the show. Yeah. We're getting a lot of creative control right now with this product, with the One Life in Port Charles, man. We can pretty much do what we want. And I think that if this, we've got that rule that we can't bring people from other shows on the show, ABC won't allow it. Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. But the thing that's been going on with Wally Kurth and Eileen Davidson, they're doing it. So why can't we get people from other stories to come over to our show? Exactly. But right now, because we don't have as big of a budget as as the other two shows, other four shows out there, that we just can't do it. But I do think if there's a cancellation, we're going to be able to do what we want, and we're going to have total creative control. But I think we'll be an independent entity with ABC, not with ABC. That's interesting to say that. I pretty much agree with you on that. I think that the writers are going to be still wanting to do the show because this is a different, unique perspective on One Life to live in General Hospital, and the fans, they really enjoy what they're seeing. I mean, in my perspective, I think they enjoy what they're seeing. And let me tell you, man, you do such a great job at it. Well, yeah, you do, and all the other actors do too. I mean, we got a lot of people on the show. We even got man, oh my God, we got we've had major stars. We've had Bruno Mars, we've had Prince, we've had Vin Diesel. We've had some major stars that were on the show after they were already stars. Not to mention, right now we got Leo DiCaprio. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, exactly. He's on the show right now. And, and it's one of those things where it used to be that you would have to go on a soap opera, especially like, when you look at people like Rick Springfield, John Stamos, people like that. What's her name? The girl, Demi Moore. Yeah, Demi Moore. To where that made their careers. I mean, that was like a stepping stone. But now we've got people that are coming on our show, as you know, that are already stars, and they're helping out, and they're helping our show out because they're already stars. They're helping us out, and I think that's why we got a good viewership. I agree, 100%. Let me ask you this, Frankie. We've been doing this like a long time. Tell the fans out there, and tell everybody that's listening to this or watching this podcast or this interview here on ABC In Depth and Soap Digest, what they want to know. What was the reason? And now this is a sudden thing. I mean, you kind of threw me off, and I had no idea that this was even happening, man. I was like, what? You're leaving the show? I'm like, what's going on? I mean, it freaked me out. And the whole storyline where, the Franklin Quartermain dies in a plane crash and everything. It was like so sudden. It wasn't even, Mr. Valentini and Mr. Carvalho didn't even let me know. So what were the conversations that you had? And me as an actor, of course, and me as a executive producer also didn't even know about it. So tell the fans out there exactly what was the mindset and whose idea it was to eliminate the Franklin character. And my girls. I keep showing those faces. My girls, they're out there looking at me. Anyway, well, the thing is, Dave, it was a combination of Mr. Valentini and Mr. Carvalho. They said, they came to me and they said, well, what do you think about killing the Frankie character? Because I went up to them and said, look, I got a lot of things I want to do, and I was on board with it because it benefited me, and really, I don't know how to say it. Well, how so? Well, it was time for a change, man. It really was. It really was a time for a change. I mean, you see characters come and go. We see people that we've written off in the past. You and I have written a lot of people off. But maybe we never wrote off a main character. And then when they did the Duke Lavery story, it kind of gave me the idea. And they were on board with it, obviously. Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, well, the Duke Lavery story, you and me, as actors, of course, we've been friends with the Duke Lavery character, Ian Buchanan, Ian's great. We've been with him for many, many years, since the mid-'80s, and he's always been a pleasure to work with, just like Roscoe and the rest of it. We've never had anybody that we didn't like working with, and I think that's probably what's made our brand, as well as the GH brand and the One Life to Live brand, so successful. What was the reason for you considering or even leaving the show? What's your plan? Why is the Franklin character no longer there? Well, let me just set the record straight on this, David. Yes, absolutely. It's always great, and I'm going to miss working with Ian. I'm actually still going to work with the Roscoe, of course, because I'm not leaving the show per se. I'm leaving the acting side. The reason for me wanting to leave the acting side, the Franklin Quartermain character, is that I want to be on the other side of the camera. I want to be on the side of the camera that you're familiar with as well, as you know, and I want to put more creative input on the storylines that we've been doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying about that. And I just think that, plus acting and doing the storylines and writing and producing, directing, and all that. I need to have some time for my family. My kid's grown now, and I really missed a lot of his life. And my kid's grown. I really want to spend more time with him now. He's going to college, and I really want to spend time with that. I want to spend time with my lady. It's time for me to just take a step back, a break, and I need to have my own personal time, but I'm not leaving the show altogether. As you know, we're working behind the scenes. I know, and I'm so glad that you're not leaving altogether, because I don't know if this show would survive, to be honest with you, between you and I, without you. I mean, Frank and Ron, they're great. Everybody's great. The whole staff is great. Maurice, everybody. But it really wouldn't be One Life in Port Charles if I didn't have your direction, and I rely on you, man. I really do, and I'm glad that you're sticking around for that. But I see what you're saying. So you're just basically saying that because of the personal time, you need away from the front of the camera. Yeah, that's all it is, man. I need time for family, and I need to be away from the front of the camera just so I can concentrate more on behind the camera and make this product the best that it could be. Make it better, help you out, and you helping me out. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, and I hope the fans understand that. But I know they're gonna. The beauty of it, man, they're gonna miss the Franklin character. They're gonna miss him, and that might help the ratings too, because people are gonna like, wow, what's going on? So you don't see, maybe because the Franklin character is no longer going to be there, you don't think that there's going to be a drop off in viewership, or anybody that's going to be like, oh, we're not watching the show now because Frankie's not on there, and him and David's battles are gone, and you don't anticipate that at all. No, I really, honestly, I know, because there's going to be so many other storylines that we can focus on, because lately, David, you know this, we've been focusing too much on the Franklin character. Well, you know that, right? Yeah, we have. We focused a lot on them this year, especially this year. It's time for us to not focus on the Franklin character. We need to focus on the show itself and all the other characters that are around it. We still got our GH crew and our One Life crew. Those actors, we could be able to get them on canvas and do the right thing. And I think that's what the viewers are understanding at that point. And I think that in the end, boom, I think that's just what's best for business, man. I agree. Yeah, that's cool. Let me ask you, and I'm sure the fans are probably going to want to know the answer to this question, of course. Let me ask you this question. In the end, let's say, 3, 6, 8 months, a year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, do you think the Franklin character will come back? Is he dead? Because you know how it is in soaps, man. It's like we write them off and they're gone. Is he coming back? Well, Dave, the better answer to that. Better than I. We both have died a couple times to come back. The answer, my brother, is this, man. Is you never know. You can never say never. But I honestly think this is the best way to go. Now, give me one more answer as to, did this decision have anything to do with Ian and Anthony leaving? Well, in all honesty, it did. Because I'm like, Tony's been with us for a long time, and a pleasure to know him for so many years, and I got to meet him back in '84 and '85. We started doing our thing, and we've been doing this a long time, Dave. We've been doing a long time. Yeah, I know we have a long time, and when he decided to hang it up and call it quits, I'm like, there might be something to this. And then Ian comes back after a long extended absence, and then 4 years later, 4 years later, he called it quits. And I'm thinking, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that is a sign that I need to do some other things with my life, do some other things for myself, my family, just like Ian and Tony are doing, man. And that gave me the idea to come up with the storyline of Franklin dying. Well, I tell you, man, that's amazing storyline that you did with that. And I got to tell you, dude, as far as being a fellow actor with you and being in front of the camera with you, I got to say, dude, it is such a pleasure to work with you. You are not only my best friend. I mean, we know each other forever, but you are a great person to work with on camera. And you're great to work with behind the camera. And I'll tell you what, I feel like half of me is dying right now. I'm all sad. Hey, man, it's okay, man. No, I feel like, man, dude, it's like half of me is sad because that part of it, being able to act with you and be in front of the camera, it's gone now. I'm like, oh gosh, that part is gone. But I'm at least, I feel like an ex-girlfriend trying to hang on to her boyfriend and she'll take him no matter how she can get him, kind of thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And so like, you know, I can hang on with you as long as we're behind the camera, as long as we're doing, like, you know, writing things and producing things. But you know what? It might even make our writing even better. I don't know, but I just gotta say, Frankie, you know, the fans are gonna miss you in front of the camera. Your on-screen presence has gotten so exemplary, especially in the last 6 months. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. That you know, it's gonna be tough for people to not see you on film. And so, what can we expect from the funeral? And maybe, I don't know if you can leak this out. I know the answers, but actually I don't know all the answers, but I know most of them. But tell the crowd, tell the fans, what can they expect for the funeral, and maybe what can they expect for the reading of the will? Well, the will, I can't tell you, Dave. Of course you can't. Yeah, Mr. Carvalati and Mr. Valentine said, no, don't let that out. And, you know, I can't even tell you that because they want me to totally focus on that alone, because they're letting me out. They're letting me do this. I mean, let me tell you, first of all, Dave, they were very reluctant to let me go as far as being on camera. They were like, no, you can't go. We can't leave. You can't leave. But I told them, I said, if you let me write my ending, and with the will, it'll be great. And they put their trust in me, man. And so that's what's happening. I'm going to be able to do that, and I'm going to hopefully do a damn good job at it. I'm sure you will, my brother. You're going to do a damn good job. I'm not even worried about that. For real, you're going to do a real good job. As far as the memorial, the funeral goes, that's one that I'm going to go ahead and let you work on. Oh, yeah, that's true. They did say I could work on that. Yeah, I'm going to let you do that, but I'm going to do the will, man. It's a good way to end Franklin's term, his time on One Life Port Charles. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to miss being in front of the camera. I'm going to miss everybody. I love the fans. I love everybody. Just know that everything that you see, all you fans out there, everything that you see, it's still me, it's still David, it's still everybody, it's still Frank, it's still Ron, and we're all together in this thing, and still all the wonderful actors. We're all a big team. Yeah, we're gonna miss Tony, and we miss Ian already. We miss Wally. Wally's gone, but we're gonna do and what we got to do behind the scenes, and just give you a really good product, ladies and gentlemen, as best as we can. And that's pretty much it right there. And that's the whole goal. And you know, my personal reasons not being in front of the camera, well, you know, I got to take a break. I just really do. I really need it. Frank, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, man, and talking with us, and talking with ABC Soaps in Depth, as well as the Soap Digest, as well as the fans and the spoilers here in our podcast, spoiler alerts, here in our podcast of One Life in Port Charles. Man, dude, I just gotta say, man, I'm sad because I don't get to work with you in front of the camera, but I'm so happy that I still get to work with you behind it. I don't know if I could do it without you behind the camera. I'm looking forward to many, 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 many more episodes of us doing our thing. And oh yeah, 100 is gonna be good. You know that, right? Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're not gonna let nobody know what's going on there. It's gonna be epic, man. It's gonna be epic. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it all out. Frankie Johnson, aka Franklin Quartermain. He is no longer going to be in front of the camera. However, you will still be able to see One Life in Port Charles as we do it. It'll be no changes behind the camera. The only difference is that the show will just not focus as much on him. Maybe it'll focus more on him being away from things, but we just won't see him as much. But other than that, he is going to maintain his professionalism. We're going to be working together, and I can't believe it. He's my best friend in the world. God bless him. I love working with him. And I hope you guys enjoy the next chapters of our entity, One Life in Port Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much, and good night.